Yo, what is up everyone? This is your buddy Chukatron back at you again, about to be doing an unboxing and review on my favorite Autobot, the Autobot known as Jazz. Now this is from the Studio Series 86 version, and this is the Jazz that I have been anticipating since forever. So I have withheld from buying any figures of Jazz from the Power of the Primes and whatever adaptation. The last version I had of Jazz was the movie one way back in 2007, and I've waited ever since for the original Jazz, and I'm so happy because this is the Jazz that, like I said, I'm pretty sure everybody was waiting for this Jazz. This is the one, man, and we finally got it here, an actual G1 adaptation of Jazz. So before I open it up, I want to take a quick look at the figure in the packaging. Look how awesome he looks, guys. Doesn't he look great? We do have an illustration there with Jazz, like, yeah, how awesome. He's the coolest Transformer, guys. If you guys haven't seen any of my reviews, go check them out. I got the G1 Jazz review, I got the Alternators Jazz review, and I do have the 2007 Jazz figure review, which is old as hell, but hey, it's one of the first ones of it. But this is my guy right here. If you don't know, Jazz and me, we're like, forget about it. There's a look at the front there. There is a look at the side there with Jazz right there clenching his fist, looking really cool. On the back there, we noticed there we do have the promo shots of him in his robot mode, him in his vehicle mode, and yes, guys, he pretty much looks like the Martini Porsche from back in the 80s. How sweet is that? Thank you very much, Hasbro. You notice we do have the backdrop display right there, and on the top there it says big screen inspired, like they all do. On the top right there it says Moon Base 1 Destruction. So it looks like it's gonna have the display piece from when he's on Moon Base. Jazz to Moon Base 2, Jazz to Moon Base 2. So we're gonna have that there, and there's a look right there with Jazz's close-up saying hello. So let's pop this bad boy open and check him out. Here we go. Yes, say hello to the King of Cool. Bam, there he is, guys. Studio 86 Jazz in the inside bubble. There's a look there. He looks like he comes with his blaster. There's a look at the front there. Display piece that he comes with. We notice it there if we open it up. That is the background of Moon Base 1. So here's the detailing of the panels right there. Looking really nice. Right there, right there. On the back there, we notice that it looks like a picture of either Cybertron or Moon Base 2. So I'm not sure about that. There's a nice little display right there, and this is awesome, guys. I love this scene right in the beginning of the movie, and we could close it right there, and we notice we have the Studio 86 on that side and that side, and this is so great for a guy and a fan like me. Here's a look at the instructional pamphlet, so let's open it up and take a look. So yeah, he kind of looks pretty much like the G1 toy, so I'm really stoked about that. There's a look at the back there. We notice that we do have the 86 cup and blur. And there's a look at the side of it. Really nice. Alright, so here's a look at Jazz out of the packaging. And man, does he look cool or what? So taking a look at the figure right now, it just looks totally like he just came out of the cartoon. And I just love the overall design of him. There's a nice look at the front of him there. You see he has all the aesthetics of the G1 cartoon. There's a look at him on the side and on the back. Let's take a closer look at him now. We'll start off with the head mold there. And as we notice there, the head mold is totally faithful to the original G1 toy and design. And I just think it looks great there. The molding there, if you can see it, has little horns, and on the side is vents, all looking really nice. Back of the head looks really good too. I'm glad they gave it all that little detail on the back. When we look at the visor there, it is painted that blue glossy paint, which looks really good. His face is that silver metallic paint right there, which looks really good. When we look at the chest area, we notice we have all the details. Very nice and very reminiscent. If you had the original G1 toy, which I do, which I'm going to show you guys, you'll notice that he does have this little detailing right there on the top. Notice that beautiful bright Autobot logo right there on the top of his hood there and on his chest. When we look at the chest area here, we notice that they have made different modifications, like the part right here with the grill. It's supposed to have that whole section kind of like just like with lines across it, but they kind of missed out on the middle there. Now, I don't know if they did that on purpose because they don't have the licensing to this, but there's a look at it there, and I think it looks really good. As far as the paint goes, it looks really nice. The detailing, we look at the lights there. The lights look really good. I love the detailing there, and I'm so happy that they added that red paint. Very faithful to the original toy. We look at the abdomen there. We notice that it does have that nice silver paint. I kind of wish it had some detail of the radio, because that's the part where the radio of the original G1 toy looked. That looks really good. We look at the crotch area. I love it. It has that nice blue glossy paint, which looks really nice. The top portion of the leg there looks really good. Not too much detail. When we look at the legs there, I love the legs. The legs look really good. We notice we have some detailing there like the original figure. The feet look really good. I kind of wish that this part right here was painted silver as well, but it doesn't look that bad anyway. When we look at the side there, that part looks really good. And in the instructions, I think they say to keep it like that, but I like to just keep it like that. On the instruction, it tells you to have it like that, which kind of looks weird, which is how the G1 toy was. It was kind of like that, but I like to keep this kind of facing like that. But that looks really good. The wheel and the rim looks awesome. Looks really good. It's not like the original toy though, unfortunately, that had the spokes on it, which I'm going to show you later. There's a look at the back of him. Now immediately when we look at the back there, we notice that he doesn't have the wings sticking out like the G1 toy did, but I'm really kind of glad that they kind of gave him that shell in the back, because this is how he looked in the cartoon. They didn't have him with the doors out on the sides there, which I think it looks really clean. We noticed that the glass looks really good. It has a nice striping there on the back, and that looks really nice. On the back of the legs here, we notice that we do have some hollowness, and that's due to the transformation, which I don't think looks bad, because being that it's black, it hides all that. So, and we notice on the back part here that the heels are actually the spoiler that we'll see later on, which looks really good. So I love the design. The arms, now we look at the arms here, that looks faithful to the original G1 design. He had that style arms. The hands look really good too, very minimal detail, but I love it. It does look like it's detailed after the original G1 toy, and the hands look really good. So overall, I'm super impressed by this Jazz right here, and being my favorite Autobot, I think they totally did him a lot of justice. So happy with it. Let's take a look at the articulation now. Now we'll start at the head. Now the head is on a ball joint, so it can tilt left and right and all around. We have that motion and that range right there. Can rotate around 360 degrees. The arms have really nice range. They can pretty much go up that much and come down really nicely over 90 degrees, which is really good. They also can rotate all the way around 360 degrees without any hindrance, so that's really good. It does have a bicep swivel joint right there. The elbows can bend 90 degrees. The hands, they cannot tilt, but you can pivot them inward. I wish they kind of would have been able to rotate. That would have been really nice. The waist area here, we have full 360 degree motion. The back piece kind of gets in the way, so you could just have to tilt it out a little bit. The legs can go forward and back almost about 180 degrees. It does have another thigh swivel joint right there, which is really good. The knees can actually bend that far back due to the transformation, which is really nice. The foot there, we do have the pivot feature, which we can rotate that down about 45 degrees really nicely. So all that articulation, and being the fact that, you know, he's really like loose, not as far as joints as much, but just he's more freely ranged because he doesn't have too much things blocking him, minus this backpack piece. So I'm hoping to see if I can get him into some nice breakdancing poses, so we'll see. So it's comparison time. Let's take a look now at him with the original and one of the best, if not the best, the granddaddy, the #1 dude, the G1 figure. Here's a look at the G1 figure standing next to the new Studio series. We could see where they got all the ideas and the concepts for. Like I was saying earlier, if we look at the top here, let me see if I can get a nice clear view of that. Some detailing on the top there. If we notice the top of his chest and the top there, really looking nice with that line and all that. When we look at the inner panels here, I don't know why, but if you see those lines right there, he actually has that detailing right there on the inside of his shoulder. So when he turned him into his alternate form, you'll see it a little bit better. But there's a look at the size, and you know, this is one of the best G1 figures and Autobots you can get. I mean, he's just totally cool. If you guys haven't seen the review on him, go check it out on my page. I love this figure. This is one of my favorite G1 figures. Yep, if you notice the line on his chest, they did carry that over. We see the inspiration right there with the blue lines on the crotch area, and the design overall is kind of carried over because we see this part right here where the Autobot logo's at. It's kind of have the same detailing right there. Now I kind of wish they would have put like some detailing for the radio portion right here on Jazz, because in reality he loved music and he loved radios and stuff like that, and he had the speakers, which I kind of wish they would have had as some accessories on him. They just came in with the gun, but we'll look further into that. Here's a look at the legs there, and you can see where he gets the inspiration from the leg part right here on the lower section. That looks really good. Well, let's take a look at the side now. We can see the side of that, which I was telling you earlier, with the whole foot thing right here. You can have that face forward like that to give him more of a G1 look, but I kind of like putting it facing downward. So that looks really good. There's a look at the arms. See the two lines right there, how they carried that over, and obviously the face. We can just take a look at the face there. Notice the G1 Jazz and the new Jazz, how they look compared to one another. So, and as I was saying before, if we look at the back here, he is missing his wings, which is very iconic for Jazz, but I'm not too mad at it because this was trying to copy the original cartoon look. So let's take a look now at the one and only accessory that Jazz comes with, which is his blaster rifle. And we notice it there, it's painted with this really nice silver paint. We do have a lot of hollow cavities right there, but it's pretty much modeled after the original G1 blaster that he had in the cartoon. It does have some pegs right there on the sides and on the bottom. And now I'm going to be comparing it with the original G1 gun right there. So we notice that the G1 gun is actually way bigger than the original, but I just want to see and show you guys where it gets the inspiration from. So there, that is the G1 there, and that is the new one. So there is a look at the G1 Jazz with the Studio Series Jazz. Let's take out the G1 Jazz. I'm going to be throwing in a look at him next to the Earthrise Cliff Jumper figure. These two were teamed up in the movie. So there's a look at the height difference and the similarities between them. Obviously, Cliff Jumper is not really modeled after the original cartoon, but this is what we got. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pull out the set right here, the background that it comes with. Let me see if I can get them together. So see how they fit, if we can actually get them both, because in the movie, Cliff Jumper was using that computer over there, and we had Jazz using that big computer. So see if you can actually fit them together. So yeah, you can actually fit them together on the display. So there's a look at them there. Just wanted to show you guys off of them, or see how they look facing forward. And there they are, Moonbase 1. How sweet. And for height comparison, I just want to bring in Earthrise Optimus Prime. So I think there's a really good scale between him and Jazz, and now we can see Cliff Jumper. Unfortunately, Cliff Jumper was labeled as a deluxe, which he should not have been, being how small he is, but you can see how it scales right up. And to further just check this out, let's take a look at him next to the Studio Series Hot Rod. So you can take a look at him there. We notice that Hot Rod's a little bit taller than him. And for really, really big comparison, let's take a look at him next to the Studio Series Grimlock. Look how huge Grimlock is. Man, he's just a monster. So there's a look at those three there. These were the three figures that I was really excited about when I first saw the release. So I'm glad I got all three of them. If you haven't checked the reviews on the Grimlock and the Hot Rod and any other Transformers reviews, I got them up right on my page, so check them out. Alright guys, now that we saw him in his awesome robot mode, let's transform him. Transformation is not too bad. It's really reminiscent to the original toy. So first, what I'm going to start by doing is taking the feet part here, rotating them down about 90 degrees so that they're like that. Next, what I'll do is I'll take this portion right here, I'll fold it upward like that, 90 degrees up like that. And next what I'm going to be doing is taking the upper leg and just folding it in like that. We'll repeat the same process like that. So we take the lower part right here and we just kind of fold that. It has like a double hinge joint that allows it to fold inward like that. And so now on the back section here, what I'll do is I'll just take that and tab them together. There's 2 tabs and peg holes right there. So we just tab them up. So that kind of defeats the whole lower section of the vehicle. Next, what I'll do is take his arms. I'll rotate them 90 degrees outward like that. And I'm going to take the hand right here, just fold it in. That looks really good, just like that. So what I'll do is I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Fold that lower part right here 90 degrees outward, and I'll take the hand and I'll go like that. You're going to see why I'm going to do it. Next, what I will do is take this part right here where the hood is at. I'll just take that and kind of just fold it upward 90 degrees. So fold that upward like that. And next what I will do is I'll take this portion right here, kind of just put that up for now. And what I'm going to take is this whole head section where Jazz's head lays in, and we're kind of just going to fold that downward 180 degrees. So it's kind of tricky. You kind of like have to mess with the bottom tab, bottom flap right there, just to make it past that section, and it kind of scrapes the paint right there. So you got to be careful with that. If you notice that on the middle section here, there's some red paint from scratching that area. I don't know why, but it's really tight. So what you're going to do is fold Jazz's head 180 degrees like that. We could take this top flap and just fold it upward fully so that it goes right in that hood section like that. Next, what I am going to do is take this portion right here in the middle and just rotate that 180 degrees so that actually turns all the way around. And we notice it there. There's some detailing right there, and it kind of looks like a flywheel for an engine. It looks really much like a flywheel, if anybody knows what a flywheel is. So next, what I'm going to be doing is taking the arm part and just rotating it like so. So if you notice, we had it like this before. We're going to rotate that upwards. And then what we're going to do is take the butterfly joint right here and just fold that all the way around so that the actual tire and wheel are facing outward. So very similar to the original Jazz. And then what we could do is take this arm part and just fold it inward like that. So that's the way you want it. We'll repeat the same thing on the other side. So what you want to do is rotate that like that. And then you're going to rotate this butterfly joint inward 90 degrees or 180 degrees, I should say, like that inward. And then what we're going to do is just fold that down like that. So that's the kind of way you want to have them, with these 2 tab portions facing out. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the backpack area here, and we're just going to start unfolding all the flaps now. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this flap, fold it outward like that. Repeat the same thing on the other side. And right here, there's like a double hinge right there, and that folds out really nicely. And they put this tab right there. I don't know if it's on purpose to just pull this whole section out, but we kind of just, you see the double hinge back there? That comes out like that, and it snaps perfectly into place. So you want to have it like this, because now what we're going to do is we're going to fold that downward back again. And what we'll do is we'll go like that, and on the back section here, kind of just tabs right in there really nicely. So we got it like that. And finally what we'll do is we'll just push that section in like that, and we'll just take the 2 doors, fold them down 90 degrees. All right, guys, so here Jazz is in his alternate form, and you can't deny it. He is modeled after that 935 turbo car, and man, does he look good or what. He does roll really good. Once you get all the panels in and stuff like that correctly, he should roll really good. Sometimes he rolls better than other times, but he rolls really nice. Not as good as the original G1 toy, but he rolls great. So let's take a look at him now. Here's a look at the top section, and man, does it look good or what, man. I'm so happy that they came back out with him looking like a Porsche. Should have done it a long time ago. Like I said, I don't know if they had any issues as far as, you know, getting the licensing for a Porsche, but there it is. We notice it there. The back section looks really good. He's got the spoiler right there. The back section here looks really nice. It has this translucent blue, light blue plastic, which looks really good for the windows. We have the 3 stripes right there, the martini colors, really looking good. We notice the front hood section here. Kind of looks like he has two eyeballs with the right here, like kind of like cars. But I love the way that the windshield looks. You know, it looks really good in my opinion. I love the way it looks. On the side there's a look at the side window, looking really good, and it has the little detailing on the back section of it, which really look nice. We look at the front there of the hood. We notice we have some detailing there. We got the detailing of the vents right there. We have like a little section right here with a little circle. I'm assuming that's where you would put the gas. I think on these Porsches the engine was on the back. I'm not sure, so don't quote me on it. Looking at the front there, that looks really good. The Autobot logo looks good. We've seen all the detailings once again, and I love the way it looks. Here's a look at the side of it. Now I'm glad, you know, they kept the spokes here. This is how the original spokes looked, but I do like the progress that they made with the pegs. Now the front pegs for the wheels, they kind of have that weird look to it, but you don't notice it that much because they did such a good job at detailing the rim that you kind of don't even notice the middle too much. Now the back there, they did it, you know, in my opinion, the correct way, which they kind of just reversed the peg, so now you don't have to see the black piece or the other piece sticking out. It's kind of hidden in there, so that looks really good. I love the way the rims look. I love the way the wheels look. I love the way the side door looks. Very faithful to the original G1 toy. Unfortunately, we don't have the same numbers. So the original numbers were number 4. He's got 14, which is kind of cool. I don't know if they could have had the number 4 on it. I'm pretty sure that Toy Hacks is going to come up with a decal that you can actually change that number. But I think it looks really good. It doesn't really matter too much. On the front there's a look at it there with the grill. Looking okay, like we saw it in robot mode with the red line on the bottom. Looking really nice. There's a look at the other side. And here's a look at the back. Now the back looks kind of weird. We noticed that we do have some detailing for lights there, but we got these two big feet sections just sticking out, which I don't really care, you know, like who's gonna look at it like that anyway. But you know, there's a look at it. Those two sections just kind of just stick out, but it doesn't all look, you know, take away from the actual vehicle. Like it looks really nice here, then it gets to this point, it's like that kind of looks weird. So we look at the bottom, not too much kibble, very similar to the G1 toy. And overall, I love this alt mode. Jazz is probably my favorite Autobot from the original 1984 line, and I love him. And for comparison's sakes, I brought in the original G1 figure in this alternate mode. You could take a look at the similarities and the differences there, which that looks really awesome. I kind of wish they would have did more with the light blue paint there, but like I said, I think Toy Hacks is going to come out with a decal set for him, and it'll probably end up featuring more faithfulness to the colors. This is modeled after the original cartoon, so this one is just modeled after a realistic car that was actually raced and all that. So notice at the top there, it does have that black line on the top there, reminiscent to the original G1 toy, which has the decals for Martini Porsche. I believe Martini was the one that sponsored the race car, so there's a look at it there. We noticed the front section right here for the grill and the lights, where it gets the inspiration from, and also that red line that I was telling you about earlier. Here's a look at the side here. Now I kind of wish they would have did the spokes kind of similar on the rims. You see the rims there, they're actually spoked rims. I kind of wish they would have did that with that, because that would have been looking really cool. And man, these G1 toys are so cool, man. It still rolls really good, squeaky, but it's still an awesome figure. We look at the back section there. We notice that rear quarter panel, very similar in style. The actual piece right here, the spoiler on the back, looking really faithful to it. Like I said, this back section right here, just obviously they had to put his feet somewhere. It doesn't look as smooth as this one does, but it doesn't look too bad, as you can see. Overall, I think they did a great job finally bringing back Jazz as his old Porsche self. So there it is, my unboxing and review on the Studio Series 86 figure. I hope you enjoyed the review as much as I enjoyed making it. So glad that they came back with the G1 Jazz back in his G1 glory. Till next time, this is Chukatron signing out, saying peace, love, harmony, and God bless. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, chances are you'll enjoy another one. Hit the subscribe and notification bell for more Chukatron content.